Here are your top 12 players to watch heading into the biggest ALGS event in history. Hey, I'm Vikki. It's been a while, and I'll be your guide through the players and storylines you need to know before the action kicks off in Sapporo, Japan. From Japan's hometown heroes, ready to prove themselves on the world stage in front of a passionate home crowd, newcomers shaking up the meta, and veterans battling to reclaim their throne, this lineup is packed with narratives guaranteed to keep you invested in every moment. Phony. It's been all change for Phony since the ALGS Split 2 playoffs in Mannheim, Germany. Less than a week after winning the playoffs, Space Asian Gaming parted ways with the team, with Phony also leaving Zainu and Koiful. Never before in Apex Legends history has a team broken up directly after winning a LAN trophy. Despite his success, options in North America were few and far between for Phony. He moved regions, linking up with Jesco and Legacy on Guild Esports to ensure that he can compete at the ALGS Championship in Sapporo. With a third place finish in the recent BLGS, Phony has proved that he could be a top IGL in the APAC South region and heads to Japan with a point to prove to his former teammates and the entire ALGS community. Sangjoon. Another ALGS champion who has a lot to prove is Sangjoon, now of Crazy Raccoon. Despite winning the ALGS Split 1 playoffs in Los Angeles and becoming the first South Korean team to take home a LAN trophy in the process, the former Reject Winity roster failed to qualify for the second LAN of ALGS Year 4. However, it was a close run with the Split 1 playoff champions falling just a single place short of the cutoff in APAC North Pro League. Despite that, their Split 1 playoff win earned them enough playoff points to directly qualify to the ALGS Championship, giving Sangjoon, Ubli, and new teammate Juzna the chance of a second trophy this season. They are in fantastic form too, after winning the APAC North BLGS Regional Finals. After replacing the departing YanYa with Cholos Lasers Kurev, Team Liquid also won their region of the BLGS. They closed out the Americas Regional Finals in a swift 7 games.
Yes, I'm done! T-Law wins! T-Law wins!
Kurev has the weight of South America on his shoulders, but has adapted to his new team fantastically well, with the BLGS showing a glimpse of what this team is capable of. Liquid experimented with all 3 of their players, trying the crucial IGL role. They settled on Juarez taking the reins, and this seems to be working incredibly well for the roster, with Kurev coming into his own in a support role. Kurev has yet to make the finals of an ALGS LAN in his career. Can he inspire the next generation of South American Apex Legends competitors with a strong performance at the biggest ALGS event to date? Unlucky has relished the opportunity handed to him by Alliance, quickly establishing himself as one of the best fraggers not just in the EMEA region, but anywhere in the world. Unlucky's partnership with Effect has been clinical. Together, their aggression is enough to overwhelm any team, carefully guided by the immense experience of their IGL hockeys. The duo finished first and second in Split 2 Pro League kills, with Effect ranking up 77 and Unlucky with 63. Unlucky carried his killer instinct though to the Split 2 playoffs, where he notched up 73 kills, the second most kills of any player and just 1 kill behind kill leader Waltzy. Alliance and Unlucky fell just short in Mannheim, Germany, and also finished narrowly second in the EMEA BLGS Regional Finals. Leaving Juarez and Uzul after almost 3 years together was a big throw of the dice from YanYa. Despite lots of success, the 21-year-old from Mexico felt like it was time for a new challenge. Since joining up with the Lone Sharks, YanYa rediscovered his dazzling best, starting by winning their first ever tournament together and following up with second in the Americas BLGS Regional Finals. Now heading to Sapporo, Japan for champs, YanYa could be the decisive factor for the Lone Sharks. Joining Dropped, Knocked, and Coach Raven gives YanYa teammates with huge experience of performing on the biggest stage in the ALGS. The question is, will his gamble pay off? Meltstera, like the other Japanese players competing at the ALGS Championship, will get to experience a home crowd for the first time when the action kicks off in Sapporo. The hometown hero and his Fnatic teammates are always well supported no matter where they are in the world, but will be backed by a hugely passionate set of home fans across the 5 days of the event. This will also be the first ALGS LAN since Meltstera rejoined Fnatic in place of Sasuke after parting ways with the team after the last ALGS Championship in November of 2023. He returned to Fnatic as somewhat of a missing piece, helping to provide a much more stable base to their fighting as the anchor of the team. He never truly found his best away from Fnatic, but now he is back home. His performances across the BLGS where Fnatic finished third point to him and Fnatic rediscovering form ahead of the tournament in Japan. Libo Ace may be a name unfamiliar to a lot of ALGS fans, with this ALGS championship being his LAN debut in the game. However, if he carries his recent performances into Sapporo, Japan, he will absolutely have a debut to remember. Alongside Meteor, he has been on fire in the build-up to this event. Meteor won the APAC North LCQ and then took second in the recent BLGS. They are lethal in a match point format, in no small part down to the performances of Libo Ace. He is an outstanding fragger, one of few in that role still using mouse and keyboard. His mastery of exactly how much risk to take when fighting helps him turn out consistent kills. He racked up a huge 18 kills in the BLGS regional finals. As long as he can see off the first LAN nerves, he will be a lethal force when action gets underway in the ALGS Championship. While each of the BLGS regional finals featured almost all of the teams qualified for the ALGS Championship, there were a couple of teams that did miss out. One of those absentees was Gaming Gladiators, who struggled across the BLGS. This was a big surprise, with the Gladiators looking like one of the best teams in Mannheim, Germany, and falling just short of taking the title, finishing second with the most points in the lobby. That means Blast and his teammates Lufka and Light are headed to Japan with a serious point to prove. No longer considered amongst the title contenders after their BLGS performance, could the reduced pressure and expectation actually help the Gaming Gladiators play with a little bit more freedom? They have proven experience at LAN. If Blast can help the team get going, their BLGS struggles could quickly become ancient history. JMW is no stranger to LAN success. Having won the title in Stockholm, Sweden back in 2022, he hasn't reached those heights since then, not making a LAN finals lobby during ALGS Year 3 and then failing to qualify for either of the playoff events this season. However, since joining Synetic and Nags on FaZe Clan, he seems to be taking steps to get back to his best. With a champs place not secured, JMW instantly made an impact with his new team, who benefited from his experience in the anchor role. This helped them comfortably finish first in the Last Chance qualifier, and since then, JMW and FaZe have continued to perform well, coming in 6th in the BLGS regional finals. There still aren't that many players with LAN winning experience in the ALGS, and JMW's experience could prove crucial to help FaZe deliver a championship trophy in Sapporo. Now onto the CEO of Apex, whose performance in Mannheim, Germany would have seen him hold in front of the board to explain himself. Team Falcons really struggled in the finals lobby, finishing rock bottom in 20th place. For any team, that would be a disappointment, but for the so-called super team of Apex Legends to perform to that level was a huge surprise. However, that does not take away from the quality that ImperialHal and Team Falcons have. You don't win the countless ALGS events, including multiple LANs, by accident. ImperialHal is still one of the best players who ever graced the game, and he has a track record of proving doubters wrong. Nonetheless, it was certainly a big risk for ImperialHal to join up with Team Falcons after having such consistent success with TSM for over 4 years. There is huge pressure on the self-described CEO to help drive Team Falcons onto their first LAN win together. Changes have been made at Team Falcons in the aftermath of that poor result in Germany. Falcons choose to bring in Moist Esports Waltzy, who replaced Jen Burden. Can that reshuffle catalyze a revival for Team Falcons and get the CEO back on track? Dreamfire is another team that is always well supported no matter where in the world they compete, but will no doubt have an even larger following with the ALGS holding a live competition in Asia for the first time in the competition's history. Dreamfire had a very poor start to the 4th year of the ALGS, and as a result made several changes to their roster after missing the Split 1 playoffs in Los Angeles. One of their additions was young gun IHateTheWorld, who has helped Dreamfire steadily improve. In particular, his fragging power and his hyper-aggressive playstyle has made Dreamfire a very big threat in any lobby, capable of going toe-to-toe with anyone they come up against in a fight. After qualifying from the APAC South Pro League in Mannheim, Germany, they finished in a respectable 13th place. Now, heading into the ALGS Championship, this team has significantly more experience playing together and competing on the global stage. JR has been on a dramatic journey so far in this year's ALGS competition, starting the year as just a rank grinder with no competitive experience to being acknowledged by Chinese fans as one of the best mechanical players in the country. However, perhaps even more notable is the approach of his team X and Y in regards to roster shuffling. The usual post-event ALGS roster mania sees teams all over change players seemingly at will. However, X and Y have committed to not making roster changes and see their team not as colleagues, but as a band of brothers. This is becoming rarer and rarer in the ALGS with so many long-term teams and pairings parting ways over the last year. Their chemistry has attracted the attention of Source Gaming, who have signed the roster ahead of the event. Chemistry can be a hugely underrated aspect of success in Apex Legends, and this unity and the risk of being dropped after the event not hanging over the likes of JR could be a secret weapon for Source X and Y to become the first Chinese team to win an ALGS LAN title. Those are our top 12 players to watch heading into the ALGS Championships in Sapporo, Japan. Whether you're rooting for the rising stars, the returning champions, or the underdogs looking to defy the odds, this year's champs is shaping up to be one for the history books. Let us know in the comments below which players you're most excited to watch. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our ALGS coverage, breakdowns, and updates across all of our socials. The stage is set, the players are ready, and the only question left is, who will rise to the top? See you in Sapporo.